Yeah, good morning. This is Bang Bang Rahul. Let's do a little podcast. Well, not a little one. It'd be quite well. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. What it's about this morning? It's about boxing, street fighting, prize fighting, illegal fights, and I'm gonna let you little stories that you're gonna like. Yeah. In 1975, yeah, Roy Shaw fought Donny the Bull Adams at Windsor. Yeah, he was one of the first ones to do the prize fighting, to legal fights, unlicensed fighting, and he fought Donny Adams and a big, I think it was a big park, one of them big tents, a massive tents. There had about 4,000 people in it. It was packed. Roy Shaw to fight Donny Adams. Well, them two have had loggerheads for years and years and years. They've both been in prison. They both met each other in prison. Donny Adams was a very, very hard man. Roy Shaw was a very, very hard man, believe me. Yeah, I sparred with Shaw. I know Shaw really well. I mean, Donny Adams was a proper man, and Roy Shaw was a proper man too. Yeah, but they met at Windsor. It was a big promotion. I think it was through Joe Pyle and Alex Steen. Alex Steen I know very well. He used to be with Ray Bender, Ronnie Bender's brother, the one that got down for the craze. Ray Bender was come and see me, nice people. Ray Bender and Alex Steen was a nice guy. He used to wear these jackets that were about 4 foot wide, yeah, and dark glasses. Anybody remember him? I used to look after a club in Joe Pyle. I know Joe Pyle very well, the old man. I met Joe Pyle years and years ago with a guy called Mickey Francis. Mickey Francis was in prison with me. Anyway, let's not get out of this. It's a story about illegal fights and what happened. And all of a sudden, Shorey fought Donny Adams, bashed him up really bad, really bad, and that's how it started. I mean, the illegal fight. I was in prison at that time. So I wasn't around, I was not around. So it was I got to hear about it in prison, illegal fights and all this, that and the other. But as I say, I wasn't involved in any of that at that time. I didn't come out until the end of 78, 79. And that's when I started getting myself involved in it, because I thought, well, fucking, why not? Why not? Everybody's earning money out of it, and I can fight, and why not, yeah? Anyway, so... then there was Frankie Warren. I mean, Frankie Warren is now a big promoter, a licensed promoter, boxing board and control. But at that time he wasn't. I mean, he wasn't. He got into illegal fights, Frankie Warren, and believe me, he earned a lot of money out of it. He had all of he had Lenny McLean. He had quite a few other fighters there as well, and I've boxed there a few times down there, Tottenham and all that. I've fought a few times around there, and myself. But South East London, Woolwich, Deptford, Catford, all round there belonged to a big gangster company, Eddey Richardson. Eddey Richardson, massive gangster, mate, massive gangster. I mean, he was the worst one of them all. He was more dangerous than the craze could ever be. Believe me, mate. He was the bollocks, yeah. And you had Terry Coombs, you had Terry Sharp, you had Jimmy Tibbet, my mate Jim, who I used to look after and fight with, and do all the enforcer work, and So that side of the water was Eddey Richardson and Terry Coombs, all that lot, yeah. And this side of the other side of the water, North London, was Frankie Warren. And then you had Roy Shaw with Joe Pyle that done that side. They done all our Windsors and all them areas. And even though Roy Shaw come from Chigwell, he was living in Chigwell, just off the motorway there, and he had a nice little place there. I remember seeing him run around, and it was opposite. it was opposite the woods there, and anyway, and I liked Roy. He was a nice person to talk to. He wasn't a bully person to talk to, as Lenny was. I mean, I've had a couple of conversations with Lenny when I was to fight Lenny, spar with Lenny. Bit of a bully talking, but as far as that's concerned, we can all be bully talking. But when it comes to nitty gritty, it's a different kettle of fish. Anyway, and there's me. I used to work in a place called Octopus Productions years ago when I was a kid. I was a good amateur. I mean, I was going to turn pro. I mean, I was up the Wellington Highgate and Averstock Hill, the Noble Art. I was there with spar with Bugner, also Billy Ed. I mean, and Pat McCann. I never got in the ring with Pat McCann. Pat McCann had the same. He had a manager called Bobby Neal. Anybody remember Bobby Neal? Bobby Neal, he was trying to get hold of me, Bobby Neal, but he wanted me big time, Bobby Neal. But my trainer, George Whelan, didn't think it was, at that time, I was up for that, to turn pro, but Bobby Neal thought I was. John O'Gardner used to be there all the time. He had very good sponsorship, John. He had terrific sponsors, John O'Gardner. I mean, that's where he got to where he got to, but he was a good fighter, very, very hard fighter to beat. Very hard. He kept coming forward, throwing lots of punches, yeah, and it was a very hard man to stop. And I say, then I went to the Wellington Highgate, and the Wellington Highgate, you had Georgie Francis, Mickey Duff, and Conti and all that lot in there, and they all fancied me. I was going to be a good pro. I was heavyweight, and I was a good pro. I could bang. I mean, about being a heavyweight is banging and taking a punch. I could do both of them. I was very good. I was a good fighter, yeah. But I got involved with other things with my mate Leslie McIntyre, and we was doing other things and earning more money. As I wasn't getting no money, I had to work as you know, for me to turn pro. I had to work, yeah. And I had Mickey Duff drive us a stair and come around my house and wanted me to turn pro, but I wasn't there. I was thought I was what do you call it? I don't know what you call it. I don't know. I just loved every woman on the site. You know what I mean? I was just, all the time I was with different women every day, and it was got to the stage because I was fighting. They love it, don't they? And I was one of the governors in Acton at that time, and then I become the governor of Acton. You know what I mean? I was a bit of an bastard, you know. And anyway, and then he had all them fighters. I mean, I come out in 1970, end of 78, from Chelmsford Prison. Chelmsford Prison burnt down. I got moved to the Scrubs, and from the Scrubs, I got transferred home, and it was all over. And then I started moved to Lewisham, and started doing all the legal fights over the Lewisham, fighting for Eddey Richardson, a lot. You know, a lot of fights with Eddey, quite a lot of fights with Eddey. I mean, most of them was in Catchwhistle, Streatham, and I forget some social club, big club. There was some fighting there as well. Harvey Social Club, and places like that. It was loads of fights. So loads of fights. And then I was doing lots of enforcer work with Jimmy Tibbett and Cliff Fields, and getting a good living. And all of a sudden I decided, the girl that I was with, she moved. She decided to go back to Acton, where she lived, and she didn't like Lewisham at all. Me and her didn't really get on. Anyway, so I chased her, you know, like when you love someone at that time. I chased her, yeah. I chased her to Acton, and anyway, I met Bob Coleman again, went to his company. I said, look, Bob, do you fancy because what we was going to do actually, me and Bob Coleman there wasn't no gyms about, you know, we was going to open some gyms. There was a big place called Buffalo Carpets, and we was going to open a big gym in there, in Ealing Broadway, opposite Ealing Police Station. Big gym was going to open in there, and it never happened, yeah? It never happened, but all of a sudden, gyms took off, gyms everywhere. We big ideas, should have got in it, should have done it, you know, have all these big ideas, and should have done it, and we would have made it then, yeah. We'd have made it. We'd have made it. We'd have been on top, yeah. We'd have been like, you know. Sorry about that. The thing just come off. No, you know, we'd have made it, mate. I mean, God, bloody hell. As I say, all these. Sorry about this. My connection is gone. Anyway, so let me just sort this out, yeah. Sorry about all this. My connection is gone. Right. If it goes again, I'll have to stop it, yeah? And anyway, and then I got hold of Bob Coleman and decided, me and Bob, to do our own shows, you know. And we had shows at Acton Town Hall it's about October 1980, and you know, we had a few fights in there, and it's all been put on video, and I want to get the video. There's a paper about it. We've just found a paper. I've gone through the archives. I found a paper, big paper cutting about the fights. Colombo, Steve Richardson, he fought there, and there was quite a few fighters there. Chippendale, yeah, there's a lot of fighters, and it was my show. I was the first person in West London to bring prize fighting, illegal fighting into West London. I was the first one. Me and a guy called Bob Coleman. Never before it had been done. Never before. We was the first ones to bring it into West London, and I was proud of that. You know what I mean? Very proud of that. And I'd have had more promotions, but someone had the idea to phone the police up and tell them there was something going on in there under the ring, and they had all terrorist squad come in and fucking stopped it all. Yeah. Anyway, obviously I was a bit sick about the whole thing, but we was looking for other places to do it. You know, we was going to hit the front, mate. I mean, West London, there's some good fighters in West London. Don't worry about North London, don't worry about South East London and all that. Acton, West London, Ealing, Broadway, Hamwall, Staines, all them areas, some good fighters, mate. Some good fighters, and we did challenge all that lot over there. You know, anyway, as I say, it got to a stage where I felt a bit gutted about what had happened, and so me went back to doing armed robberies, and got myself nicked and put away for a bigger sentence, yeah. And I mean, that's what it's about. I mean, I had all the opportunities in the world, but the police and all them stopped me getting on in my life, yeah. And it's I've got a big paper cutting about it. I've got a big video we're going to get. We thought I lost all that, but I'm going to get the video. I'm going to put that on YouTube and let everybody see it. I mean, everybody sees Lenny McLean who always saw, and all that, and the people always said to me, Wales, you ain't done nothing. And we'll see. Wales done quite a lot, mate. Wales, the first guy ever to bring that illegal fights, street fighting, into West London, ever. And I was the first one from West London to go over that side, North London, South East London, and fight. I was the first one from West London to go over them sides and fight. And believe me, I could fight. And I had 42 fights, won 39, and lost 2, drew 2. Listen, mate, I was good. I was a good fighter. I know that makes sense. I had 38 fights, won 38, lost 2, drew 2, yeah? But believe me, mate, I was good. Lenny swerved me. It wasn't Lenny's fault. Maybe Lenny didn't swerve me, maybe it was Frankie Warren or Alec or Vic Andretti, I don't know, yeah? But I mean, Roy swerved me. He didn't really swerve me, really, but he didn't want. I didn't even go for Roy. Yeah, I've had lots of fights. I believe that I was one of the governors. I believe at that stage I was one of the governors, and that's how it is. I was, you know, and then I got put away for a bigger sentence, and that's what happened to me. Anyway. This is Ray Bang Bang Hill. Please like and subscribe. I'm sorry it's a bit short, but it's going to be bigger next time, yeah? And it's about all the illegal fights and what happened to me. Well, we're going a little bit further, yeah? Well, you know, I've got maybe 10 minutes before I've got to go out and do some work. Anyway, when I was in Acton Town Hall doing my legal fights, I fought a guy called Colin Cracknell for the second fight. The first fight, I forget the guy's name, it's in the paper somewhere. The first fight I had was a big heavyweight, good pro. I knocked him out in the first round, yeah? Colin Cracknell, me and Colin have loggerheads years and years and years. We used to work in the fruit market together. Colin used to fight, taught me how to fight. Colin used to bash up everybody. He was always fighting, Colin, you know what I mean? He was a right hard man, mate, Colin Cracknell. In the fruit market, you've got to be hard to in the fruit market. And I mean, a couple of times we went down Covent Garden, me and Colin, to unload potatoes. They bought a lot of potatoes, and believe me, even there, the porters there knew who he was, and they kept well away from him, mate. Colin Crattle, remember that name, Colin Crattle? Good fight. I love you, Colin. I hope he's watching this. Good fight, Colin Crattle, mate. And no old bars with him, mate. He could have a right well, and he taught me how to fight. He taught me. He didn't teach me because I was already fighting as an amateur and all that, you know. But Colin taught me a lot about on the pavement, and you know, as I said, one bad glove, one no glove. You know, I mean, taught me a lot. Punched me around the gaff, bashed me up a little bit, but in the end of the day, when we had that fight in Acton Tunnel, I bashed him up. Even though he really hurt me, he hit me a punch on the chin, and listen, it rocked me down to my ankles, mate. You know what I mean? And I thought, this guy's trying to fucking show me up in my own show. And don't forget, it's illegal fights. So I fucking smashed him, nutted him all around the place, and chucked him out of the ring. Had to be done. And then I told him to get back in, and then they jumped on my back, and then it wouldn't allow it. You know what I mean? It got to the stage I was going to kill him, mate. Not literally, but you know what I mean. You know, he can't be showing me up in my own show. It was a good show. I had 2 fights, 2 shows there, and it was a shame that it stopped. Yeah. Anyway, this is Ray Bang Bang Hill. Please like and subscribe, and later.